Well, in this project, we are going to do something different from what we've been doing in the past. What we are going to do now is to build a calculator, uh, and it will be quite a simple one. We are going to allow the user to type in some input, and then we calculate whatever they typed in and show them the outputs, and it will be. We are going to build it in such a way that we ensure that the user typed in uh, the correct information or the correct data. If they typed into something that they shouldn't have typed in, we will bring them back to the screen asking them to retype what they are supposed to type in. So let us proceed, and I will show you what I'm saying as we proceed. To do this, we will start by we're going to write the uh, everything in a function, and then call the function right after, and then test our application. So to do that, let's call this why not, maybe let's call it calculator, maybe calculator. Wait, let's call it calculator. And then, in order to keep on prompting the user until they type in the correct information, let us use the while loop. And then we're going to use the try, the exception. We're going to use it to make sure that the user typed in the correct uh, information that they are supposed to type in. So the while loop, we are going to use it to keep on prompting for for the interface for the user to type in information. But when they type in something, we use the try exception. We use it to make sure that the user typed in the appropriate information or data. So just like instead of typing in where they are supposed to type in digits, they shouldn't type in maybe some special characters, for example, or some alphabets. If they did, then we will show them an error. So first of all, let us ask for them to type in information. Let's say first number. Uh, we are going to prompt for user input. So because for the number is going to be an integer, so for that reason, this is going to be so, and let's say first number, and then let's say second number, and this is also integer, and then input. As you probably know, we could allow them to type in the input, which is treated as a string, and then we convert it to integer. But in order to do everything at once, that's why we have here like integer and then input all on the same line, so that we don't have to have 4 different lines of code. Here we're able to have 2 instead, so to make our code shorter than uh, maybe instead of having like I said, instead of having 4 different numbers or 4 different lines of code, we have to. That's why I'm trying to receive the user input, which is a string, and then convert it to integer right away. That's why we have integer and then input at the same time. And then, so here we've wait. So here we have asked the user for the first and second numbers. So another thing we are going to ask for is to ask the user what they want to do. Do they want to subtract? Do they want to multiply? Whatever operation they want to conduct. So we are going to ask them uh, to to choose or to type it in here. So for that reason, let me create another variable here. Let me call this operation. So here they're going to choose what they actually trying to do. So for this one is going to be let's say input. So this is going to be only this is going to be a string. So it's not going to be an integer. That's why I have only input here. So in order to do that, let's say something like choose an operation to perform. And to do that, let's declare the operations here that the user is able to choose from. So let's say if they want to add, for example, or maybe they want to multiply, for instance, or maybe they want to divide. Finally, maybe they want to subtract. So this could be written in different ways, but I just think that, I mean, this is good enough. So from here, the user is going to choose what they're trying to do. If they want to, I mean, based on what is shown on the screen, they will choose the actual operation they want to perform. So once we do this, so let's now perform the calculation. For instance, let's say if the user chooses, if the operation that the user chooses is equals to, let's say, addition, what happens? So let's create another variable here and call it add. And then let us calculate or add what the user typed in, and then print the answer. Let's say output. This you could call it whatever you want. Add. So what we did here is once the user chooses what they intend to do, assuming the user wants to, when the user puts in the first number, the second number, they choose what they're trying to do. If they're trying to add, then here we are going to add the first number and second number. We are going to add them, put the insert the output here, and then print it out on the screen for the user. So that's the way I decided to do it. But like I said earlier, this could be done in different other ways, but I think this is the easiest that we could do. And then let us check other operations. So let's use elif operation that the user chose is multiplication, which the star denotes. It denotes the multiplication. So if that's what the user chooses, so let's create another variable and call it multiply, and then first number, let's multiply, and second number, and then print also output multiply. We print the multiplication, we print the output. So if the user, if the operation that the user chose is, what do we have next? Division. So what do we do? So it's just the same thing. Divide, we create the variable again, and then perform the operation. First number divide by second number, and then we print, and then say output divide. What do we have next? Now we have only okay, elif operation is minus. Let's call it deduct. Let's create another variable here, and then first number minus second number, and then we print it out. So the output now is deduct or minus else. So if none of them is if none of these operations is chosen, then we show the user something, a different message. No operation has been chosen, right? And then in order to close off our try exception, here we are going to write except value arrow, and then print. So here, if the user types in something that like any input that is not wrong input, so we say to them wrong input, please try again to continue. Try again to continue. Okay, so now this is the end of the operations. So we will just leave it as simple as this. And now we are going to call our calculator, the function from here. Otherwise, we are not going to get any, nothing is going to show when we run the application. So we have to call the function right below. So that's all that we have for this project. Obviously, there are different other check-ins that we could apply to make sure that the application does not crash. But I think that for a small project like this, this is probably good enough, I believe. But I just wanted to kind of create this very simple application so that you can just see how simple it is to perform this kind of very basic operations. So haven't done this, so let me now go on and try our application and see what happens. So now let's see. Let's see where this is. Calculator. Okay. So let's call Python calculator. Oh, okay. Let's say Py calculator. Okay. For some reason, I think it has to do with the version of Python. So when I type Python and then call the file name, it shows permission denied. So I strongly believe it has to do with the version. So, but usually when I type only py and then the application, the file name, it works. So you might encounter the same problem. So you don't go looking. just realize that just write it, the py and then do it. It's going to work. So now let us let me try some, here, as you know, the user is supposed to type in some integers, but let's just try and type in something else. Let's say some, what does it say? Wrong input. Please try again to continue. You see? So if we did not have the try, if we hadn't this, the try exception, what would happen is that when you try these things, it will just crash the application. But due to the help of the exception, we are able uh, to keep our application running, so so that it doesn't break. So let me maybe try some. Wait, let's try let's see. Let's say something like this. It says the same. Please try again. So you see, you try some characters, for example, special characters. It still works. It tells you to type in the correct thing, telling you what to do. So now let us try and type in some digits. So let's say 500 or 5,000. Then the second number, let's say 1,900. So now I say choose an operation to perform. So what do we do? Maybe let's choose the first operation, which is the plus. You see? So it calculates them. It tells us that the output is 6,900. So now let's try something else. Let's assume maybe 4,800. And second number, 200. So choose an operation. So what do we want to do? So let's choose the second one, which is the star multiplication. So 4,800 by 200, what is it? 960,000. Okay. So now let's try something else. What do we try now? Maybe 500, 300, multiplication, division. Let's choose this. Wow. 1.6666667 or whatever it is, but as you can see, I trust what the output that we got. So let's try the last operation, which is the minus the deduction. Let's say 10,000 minus 3,000 minus 399, right? 9,601. So our application works, and it works quite well. And like I said earlier, there are definitely other ways that we could improve on this very project. But for now, this is really good enough for such a small project, and that takes quite a little amount of time. So let us end this very tutorial here. If you have any suggestion and how you think we could improve on this, just let me know. And may I ask you to subscribe to my video and the like and the share, and I will be very glad. Thank you.